Hey everyone, Foxy here. In this video, I want to answer a question that I got on a recent live stream from a viewer, which was, Foxy, how do you handle recoil on keyboard and mouse? It seems hard. So let's go ahead and have a look at a few tricks that I utilize to minimize recoil. All right, so just some quick context here is this question was asked by someone who recently switched from controller to keyboard and mouse, and they play on an Xbox console. So if you're used to playing on Xbox and you've been using controller, or you do use controller, then you are familiar with things like aim assist, where when you switch to keyboard and mouse, you no longer have that. Your aim is fully in your mouse hand completely. There is no more aim assist. So what I want to do now is go ahead and jump into what's my current favorite practice map. And we're going to go to the aim section and we're going to grab some ARs, SMGs, and just have a look at some tricks that I utilize to minimize recoil. So let's go have a look. All right, so here we got the assault rifles, and I'm going to grab the ones that are relevant to Chapter 6, Season 4, the current season. So I'm going to grab the OXR rifle. I'm going to grab the Fury, and I'm going to grab the Veiled Precision SMG. I'm going to grab the Surge Fire and the Stinger SMG. Okay, so I'm going to grab the OXR rifle first, and what I'm going to do is just shoot at some of these medium and long-range bots running around here, because up close, you're not going to notice the recoil quite as much. So when it's further away like that, you're really going to notice it, especially if you're holding down the fire. And so that's the very first trick I want to call out here is don't hold down fire. Click to fire. Purposeful clicks. When you are lining up your shots, don't try to, especially this far out, just hold it in and shoot like this, because you can see how much harder it is. Like it's bouncing around. I'm not hitting anything. So there's already just some natural, like not every bullet is going to go exactly at the center of where you're lining things up. That little white dot here in my targets, in my sights. It's not going to go there. They're going to bounce around a bit, and that's natural, especially with these ARs. And when you're shooting that far off, if you're just holding it in, I'm not hitting many shots. Like I'm not hitting many at all, right? So if I hit it, I'm kind of getting lucky because it's bouncing around. I've already got those ones low, so of course it's going to finish them off. I'm going to try to get a little further away here just to really highlight this. So way out that way, right? So you see how much it's just bouncing around all over the place. And I'm actively pulling down with my mouse to prevent the gun from continuously rising too. Because if I just hold it in, it's constantly bouncing up. So I'm like pulling down with my mouse slightly to keep the sights down. So you can see it's just all over the place. So what I recommend is purposeful clicks. So clicking one at a time for every shot, even though it's full auto. So from that far away, I'm going to line up a shot. I'm going to click. I'm going to click, 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 click. See, I missed one. Like I missed one shot, right? Purposeful clicks, just lining up the sight and just clicking. Click, 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 click with the mouse. All right, so let's have a look at the Fury assault rifle now. So I'm going to pull out the Fury here and just hold this one in. And this one is even worse because it has almost twice the fire rate. So it is hitting a few shots. So with this one, the rise, because it shoots faster, is even more exaggerated. It rises even faster. So I'm having to actively pull my mouse down to combat the recoil, or to fight against the recoil, the rise in the weapon. So if I'm holding it in, I'm actively having to like pull my mouse down at the same time. So that just makes it harder to line things up. So I'm having to move aside going to the side, tracking this player, this bot here. I'm moving to the side to track it, and at the same time I'm having to pull down. So that's just a lot of movement to try and line up, especially from that car. And you can see how the bullets are not going straight. They're kind of going like this, right? So they're bouncing around. So again, what I recommend, line up your sights. I'll go to this one. Line up your sights and just click. And every once in a while, because this gun it shoots pretty fast, I might shoot off two by accident. And if they're really far off, let's see if I can get as far away as I can here. So if they're real far off, then you're going to want to just really take your time, line it up. You're not trying to shoot fast. Oh, they just went out of render. So you're really just trying to line it up, click, click. Okay, came back into render. Click, click, just line it up, click, click. So definitely you do not want to be just holding it in. Just always it's a purposeful click, purposeful fire. All right, let's check out the SMGs. So here we have the veiled precision. Look at the rise on that. Look at the rise. And I can just show you, like, you see the rise on this, how it goes up like that? And then same thing here. This one doesn't rise quite as much because it doesn't fire as fast, so it doesn't rise continuously like the other ones do. It kind of just bounces up and down. But like you can see the rise on that, and then especially this veiled precision, that rise is insane. So that's the thing we're trying to combat here, and that's what I was saying. Is like if you're just holding it in, you're having to constantly pull down with your mouse to fight that. So like without pulling down on my mouse, it looks like this, and it continuously rises. Otherwise, I have to pull down like this. I'm pulling down, pulling down, pulling down, pulling down, pulling down. I'm literally sliding my mouse down constantly the whole time to keep it down. And that's just too much, especially if you're trying to track someone going this way too, because now I'm trying to go sideways and down, so I'm like going in a diagonal angle. It's just too much. So even with the veiled SMG that shoots really fast, it's single clicks. You might get a couple shots off because it shoots so fast. You know, it's like da-doom, 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 da-doom. That's fine. That's fine. It's a very fast shooting gun. So if you're getting a few off, that's fine. But for this, it's the same thing. It's purposeful clicks, purposeful fire. Don't just try and hold it in. All right, so the surge fire. This one I think has pretty nasty recoil as well. Okay, yeah, that's terrible recoil. Look at that. So I have to quickly pull down with the mouse to keep it going straight. I'm like pulling down like rapidly with the mouse. So again, you don't want to do that. Now, this is not the greatest gun for just in general. It's not my favorite because, you know, you see how like it increases its fire rate as it shoots. So obviously this is kind of like, I would only recommend even using this up close. You know, you're up close with someone like right here, right? You can just unload on them and it's just going to shoot at a crazy rapid rate. This is not a gun you're going to want to use like way off this way, right? Like, I mean, it's hitting them, but it's also only 12 damage. Like that's terrible. So you're probably not going to want to use this unless you're up close. And if you're up close, you don't really need to worry about the recoil as much. So the last one we'll look at is the Stinger SMG. So let's just take a look at the recoil on this. Woo! It's terrible. Again, look at that. Rises all the way up like that. So now to combat it, I have to rapidly pull down with my mouse. So I'm just rapidly firing and pulling down, firing, pulling down to try and keep it level. Right? So I don't want to do that. Again, many times, I've said it many times, you don't want to do that. You want to line up your shots and just click, 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 click. Just line it up and click, right? That's all you want to do. Line it up and click. Just like that. Just one or two shots at a time. Line them up and click. All right, so the next trick I want to recommend is to simply stand still. Now, if you're shooting medium and long range, standing still is perfectly fine. If you're, you know, in combat with someone who's up close and you're trying to use an AR like this, you know, you're picking them off like this. Obviously, you're not going to want to stand perfectly still. You're going to want to be kind of strafing side to side, moving. Even if you're using the you know, aiming down sights and you're kind of up close, like right here, you're going to want to be kind of moving side to side so you're not an easy target, right? But if you're trying to, you know, laser someone from way far off like this, standing still is super important because if you're trying to move at the same time, it can make things a little bit more difficult to try and line it up because then you're having to use your mouse to kind of go against where you're moving. Plus, it can actually make your, like if we watch the reticle here in the center, as I'm moving, do you see how the white lines, the top, bottom, left, and right, they expand out, right? It expands out, and that's because I'm moving, so the gun becomes less accurate as you're moving around. And the same thing happens right here. See those lines in the center? It's telling me as I'm moving, the gun is going to be less accurate. And you can see how it's firing all over the place, right? It's firing all over the place. But if I stand still, it's like lasering right down the center. It's much more accurate than if I'm trying to move. So if I'm trying to move and hit this person out here, most of the shots are hitting, but you can see some of them are going to the side. They're going by them. They're missing. Whereas if I'm standing real still, I mean, you can see it's kind of just going straight down the center. It's just going straight down the center. All right, so there you have it. Those are my quick tips for minimizing recoil and improving your aim. If you have any other tips or tricks for the community, share those down in the comments. If you found this video helpful or insightful in any way, hit like and consider subscribing to the channel. Now, if you'd like to come check me out live, I am live 4 days a week, Tuesday and Thursday at 6 p.m. Eastern time. I play solos, and on the weekends, Saturday and Sunday at 2 p.m. Eastern time, we do viewer games all weekend on those days and at those times. So come on by if you want to join in on some fun. And with that, I will see you in the next video or the next live. Later, everybody.